Welcome back. It's Stephanie Scheller. I am back again with another business owner spotlight because there are amazing business owners out there who deserve having some information, some spotlight put on them. And you know what? I got so distracted talking with the young lady I'm about to interview that I forgot to ask her how to pronounce her name so I don't butcher it in just a second. We were talking about everything else except for, my normal ones. So I'm going to let her introduce herself. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you. I'm Franchette Dyer of VetTech Business Services.
Franchette, see, this is why I wasn't going to say anything because I would have called you Franchette, and that would have just been great. So, Franchette, what do you do again?
I own my own business. I am a military spouse, and I have a company that I would do resumes for the service members and their families. I bridge that gap between the service members and private sector and the government.
Oh, how cool. That's a really needed space.
Yes.
There's a lot, especially here, there's so many people retiring and they're like, all of a sudden they realize, hey, it's not so easy to get a job out in the, the regular world.
Correct. It's the terminology that really gets them. They try to use their same terminology in the military, and it just doesn't go over as well with recruiters and hiring directors.
No, because when half of your resume is acronyms.
Exactly.
My brother, so my dad is retired military, my husband's retired military, my brother is active duty, and they get talking. And they're like, oh yeah, on the ESPFOA, and then I had to file the blah, 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 and we're all just sitting there like,
what? Don't know what that means.
Right? We just all walk off at that point. So what prompted you, obviously you saw the need, but what on earth made you say, oh, I should be a business owner?
It was probably around 1998. I lived in Germany for about 9 years, and there was a lot of military that could not make referral lists. And referral lists are just job announcements that service members apply for jobs, but they couldn't get into the system. Every time they tried, they were getting declined or denied. And so I started my company, VetTech Business Services.
Back in 1998.
Yes, I've been around for 30 years, literally. I started at the age of 16 when I was in high school going into college, but I really started to hone in on the military around 1998.
Wow. And you were in Germany, so you said you're a military spouse. Were you guys stationed over there at the time?
Yes, we were stationed over there for about 9 years. My husband's a master sergeant, retired now.
Oh, nice.
And my daughter was born there.
Master sergeant retired too.
Yay!
That's funny. That's cool. So you guys were stationed over there. We could totally get distracted just talking about that because
yes, we could.
But so what was this? So you kind of sounds like you had kind of a transition into being a business owner to where you went from like just kind of part-time to more time to.
Yes, I started out, like again, I said in 97. And then when we returned back to the States, I was still in corporate America. I was just doing this on the side. And then around 2016, fast forward, I got in a car accident and my husband was like, what are you going to do? And I was asking him, I need to go back into corporate America. And he actually told me, do something that you loved. And a little star clicked, and that was, I love helping the military community. I love giving back. And so I started VetTech Business Service up again, but this time I took the right steps. I actually took step by step the business plans, finances, and everything. And so here I am today, 1 year later, in the black, of course, not in the red. And we have really been going really strong, and the business is just me. I am the VetTech Business Services.
Do you have any?
Have no employees but me.
Do you have any contractors or anything, or you're running everything?
I run everything. I am the person who you talk to every single time. I coach them all the way through transitioning. After they get a job, I talk with them. I make sure that they get their promotions. I make sure that they're asking the right questions to get a promotion.
So do you see this going national, or do you want to keep it to something where you do, like, do you want to be the boss, the business owner who sits there and coordinates everybody, or do you want to still be the one doing the work?
I want to be the one that's doing the work, because I've asked my clients, even from my clients that's overseas to here, they always like the one-on-one, because I actually know what they've been through. I know how to be that battle buddy for them. So it's very important that it stays with me, and even though it is growing, I'm trying to keep my hands around it.
How's that going?
It's not going so well, but because more and more of the military community is actually telling me, Franchette, can you do this now? And so even though it's a business service, more people are asking more things of me. More companies are asking me, are reaching out to me and saying, hey, I have these positions. Do you have clients? Where normally a resume company don't get that type of recognition.
Oh, wow.
But I have companies asking me. So now it is going into a different direction, or should I say phase 2. So phase 1 was resumes. And of course I do coaching in with the resumes, but now it's getting a little bit bigger, and I love it because I want to reach more military community and the military spouses especially, to let them know that there's someone out there that do care about them and do understand about transitioning.
So do you want to bring on employees in the future?
I would love to bring on someone from the military in the future.
Hey, no, but that makes total sense, because they need to understand. Yes. It's like, right. So I tell everyone, look, your business should not appeal to everybody. Right? If your business literally appeals to everybody, you don't really have anything unique, and there's no reason for me to hire you over somebody else. Right? So you've got to have some specialization. But what a lot of people forget is that also goes for the hiring and the employees too. Is you need to hire the people who fit into your culture, who work with your company. And that's where a lot of, I've come to realize not every person is a fit for every company. You may really want to work for that company, but it just may not be a fit.
Not a great fit.
It's not a problem with you. It's just a difference. And that's a good thing for that company to have that identity. So I think that's great. You should totally just hire someone who's from the military. I stick to your core, because that's what's made you guys who you are.
Yeah. Yes, definitely.
So as you've transitioned, and as you're coming up on one of the most exciting and difficult transitions in business, that of going from a solopreneur to a multipreneur, so you're coming up on this huge transition, but you made it to the 1 year. That in itself is huge, and that's very difficult.
Yes.
What were probably some of the biggest problems and obstacles you ran into, and what did you do about them?
One of the obstacles were I needed to make sure that I was able to reach a large sector of the military. So I started networking, and that's the biggest thing for entrepreneurs that they forget. That is the key to your success, is to network, because when you network, someone who knows someone else will be able to help you. If you need something in branding or website or money, you are able to get that information sometimes better just through networking. And so that's what I found to be a great thing for me, was just me networking. And I tell anyone that's an entrepreneur, network, network, network.
They joke, they say your net worth is the sum of your net work.
And it is.
So true. But it's funny, and as you were talking, I was kind of thinking this one through, right? So we all want to deal with someone who's going to take care of us. We don't want to deal with the person who's just going to take advantage of us. And it used to be, for a while there, back when, Google really was very organic, by doing a Google search, you got that person. But now people learn to play the game. And so now we're moving back towards a networking variety where people want to know, who do you refer me to? I very seldomly go online to look for a provider anymore, because I've just gotten screwed too many times.
Yes, no, that is true. Literally, Stephanie, all of my clients have been because of referrals. I've never met my clients till May of 2016. I've never met any of my clients until this year has been the year that I've had to dress up, go out and meet people, give hugs, handshakes, and everything because of a referral. I had one client, and she was a specialist in the military. I got her first job, and she sent me between 30 to 40 people. Never had met me.
Whoa.
And that's how my company truly got started, was by referrals, which back then we didn't call it networking. But
Right.
now they call that networking. And truly, it was networking.
It is. It's getting out there, it's connecting, and it's doing a good job. 50% of getting a referral from someone is just doing a good job. If you can't do
that, no one wants you. If you're not honest and loyal and really take pride in what you do, when you're dealing with the military community, they will let you know. You don't have to guess. They will tell you, I'm going somewhere else because you didn't do this, this, or this. And I've never had that by any of my clients. So I've been very blessed to have great clients that I actually call family, because I really take an interest in their goals that they're trying to meet.
That's awesome. I like what you said there, but I think it applies to more than just the military. But I think you're right. The military, right? So you said be honest, be loyal, take pride in what you do. The military is really good about being direct, right? Like my dad was military. Yeah. He would be the one who'd be like, stop, right? He didn't say stop running, you're going to get hit by a truck. He said stop,
no.
Right? Because for them, short, succinct, like they don't pull their punches. And I think that's awesome. I love that, because that's my personality too. I'm like, why are we going to beat around the bush? Why are we going to sit here and pretend that we like each other when we don't? But I think those three concepts apply. Even though it's huge in the military and they'll tell you when you've screwed up, I think it applies all over the place.
Definitely, yes. I agree with that. Because because not all of my clients are in the military. Some of them are just like me, that was from private sector, just plain Franchette, not a military spouse attached to it. It was just Franchette. So I have those clients as well, and I try to treat everyone the same.
Nice. Well, so one of your obstacles was needing to get out and go networking. Were there ever any moments when you looked around and you said, all right, we're done. This is it. We're over. Any moments when you wanted to quit, and how did you get past it, if so?
It wasn't moments where I wanted to quit. It was just those moments that I knew that this could be successful, but I had to work really hard at it. I could not have it as a part-time job. Either it was full-time or it was something to play with. And that's the difference. As an entrepreneur, you either want to do it or you don't. And so for me, I knew I had to do it because I knew I could do it, but it was hard work. And there were days when it looked like, okay, do I still want to do this? And I had to make that transition. And so I did. So it's just overcoming the fear that you can be successful. That's the part of it. You can be successful, but it's the fear of it. Yeah. And once I got over that, I was good to go.
I'm curious, what do you think why? Because everyone has a different answer. Because a lot of people are afraid of success. What is it that you think scares people about that?
Because you actually can do it. You can see that once I can help one service member, will someone else come back? Because it's that doubt of, if I do this service, will someone else come back? Will someone else want my service? Will they even like me? What's different about me that they're going to come back to? And so for me, it was more of, okay, I'm going to do this, but what if they don't like it? And then I had to back up and kind of pick up my confidence again and say, hey, you're not that one that's a follower. You're a leader and you know how to do this. And so I had to just kind of take the bull by the horn and continue to go forward, because it's scary when you know something can succeed. It's just that something inside of you, and you know you can be successful, and you're like, oh, wait, okay, this can happen. Okay, let me slow it down. So for me, it was that moment of, this is going great. This is hard work, but this is something that I wanted to do, and I can actually see the results.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's the fear. People don't see the results right away. They stop. And that's where that fear comes in, I think.
That was a really good analysis. And I think you're right. I think when we get the And that's when we start self-sabotaging, and at least you caught it, because
Yes.
there are people who don't even catch it.
Yes.
They just start sabotaging themselves. They're like, before I can go networking, I should do the dishes. And they go
Yes.
do it. And then they're like, oh, I'll go next week, right? And then they sit there and wonder why they have no money in the bank.
Correct. But you're right. It's just excuses. I think, Stephanie, more of it is just excuses so that they feel comfortable and they don't want to get out this little box that they're in of comfort. It's that uncomfort zone, I guess you could say.
Yeah, well, because I think success and growth requires you to move into that new zone, right? Friend of mine had a great little graphic she would show me all the time, and she always was like, Stephanie, the only thing that keeps me going. And it was a picture, and it said there was a circle on one corner of the page, and it said your comfort zone, and then over here it was tagged where the magic happens.
Yes.
And she was like, that's the only, because I'm so scared and I'm so uncomfortable right now. And I just, applauded her every time for that, because it's true. Until you move out of that comfort zone, and it is going to be scary. And you know what? You're going to have 30 excuses to sit there and say, tomorrow, next week,
Yes.
3 months from now, next year.
Yeah.
There's always going to be a reason. There's
Yes.
also always going to be a reason to do it. You just have to look.
Yes. I think, when I saw your event and you hit that brick of habits, I look at that sometimes because for me, it's habits. You can have good habits and bad habits. Yeah. And I think that's very important. So for me, the habits really stuck out with me. And I know other people won't understand it, but you and I will. Yeah. It sticks out a lot. And sometimes I can look at it and it will be all together. And sometimes it's broken apart. And that tells me that it needs to stay that way. It's things I need to do. I don't need those old habits. So yes.
I don't even want to say anything. That was so good. So before I say anything else and ruin it, let's wrap up. What's your best piece of advice for business owners out there? Best piece.
Take a chance on yourself. You are worth it. You want to know your worth? Be an entrepreneur.
Oh, wow. That was good. I'm so glad. I try and write like notes as we're going. I always manage to miss that last moment. And you guys have such amazing piece of advice. And what's killing me right now is I'm doing all these interviews and never once have I gotten the same piece of advice. Never.
Wow.
I'm like, this is so freaking cool. But that was really, really good. I love that. That was beautiful. You should be a public speaker.
Don't even try it, Stephanie. Don't even try it.
Well, I will say this. I know technology can be crazy sometimes, but thank you for pushing through. This was so worth it for me to have you on.
Oh, thank you so much, because this was my first time really talking about my company. So thank you for having me. I really, really appreciate it.
Oh, how cool. Well, for our listeners out there, that's what this is about. That is why I do these business owner spotlights. Yeah. I want to find that person like Franchette who deserves to have the spotlight. Look at these nuggets she dropped. Like, seriously, Forbes may not show up tomorrow and say, hey, we need to do an interview, but this stuff needs to be shared. So if you know somebody who deserves to have the spotlight put on them, a business owner, please send them my way. The challenge with doing these business owner spotlights is I don't know who I need to put the spotlight on. I'm counting on you to share them with me. Tell me who to talk to, because I have a goal to do 100 of these over the next few weeks. I don't remember how many weeks at this point, but I want to do quite a few, and I need your help. So do me a favor, scroll down below, grab my contact information, send them my way. In the meantime, I'll be back with another business owner spotlight next week. We've got several more set up, and I'm super excited because, guys, the people we interview are always incredible. I always learn. I hope you do too. And take this as your note for the day. You always have something to learn. You always have somewhere to go, but it's up to you to step out. Go make it a great week, guys.